Hey, it's your boy BT, Brendan Taylor. We're at the 5th Street Gym on South Beach. You're watching True School Sports.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, words from my brethren in the UK. Now, speaking of the UK, there was a big, massive fight that happened yesterday, which we're going to get into because I really haven't given my post-fight review. I have several videos that I want to drop on the Klitschko Joshua fight, so please stay tuned for those. But in this particular video right here, I want to address something that, as a fellow, I'm not a massive member of the media, and I only covered what? I've only covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've only covered about 7 fights, 8 fights, in my time. So I'm not, on the level of a lot of people, who have been doing this for years. But I wanted to address this because, the Klitschko Joshua fight, they mistreated one very, very important member of the media, someone who I feel has not just paid his dues, but done a very, very great service to the sport of boxing. So, if you guys didn't hear or don't know, Kugan Cassius, who is the guy the main guy who does the interviews for IFL TV over there in the UK, he was banned from the Klitschko Joshua fight. And the reason he was banned was because Klitschko's manager, I can't remember his name, but Klitschko's manager said he was too close to the Tyson Fury's team, and he didn't want Klitschko around Kugan Cassius. And they had an argument, I guess, a year ago, and then he went ahead and did this. So Kugan Cassius, who's one of the main people, and I'm speaking as somebody who is not just, I'm speaking as a boxing fan, obviously, as someone who's an American. I live in America. So I've never been to the UK. I want to go one day. But Kugan Cassius, for me, as an American boxing fan and media person, he does a great job of time in and time out, getting, not just a lot of interviews, but a lot of quality interviews, a lot of quality footage. He's always at the right place at the right time. And, he's just done a great service to British boxing. And he does a great job keeping people around the world informed of what's going on in the world of British boxing, with a lot of his interviews, for everybody from Eddie Hearn to Tony Bellew to Tyson Fury to Anthony Joshua, all the way down to, your local club fighters. I think, Kugan Cassius has done a phenomenal job throughout the years, and I think that reflects in his numbers, that reflects in, his presentation. He's always been, to me, one of the best in boxing media, so I got to give him a lot of credit. And I think it's very wrong that he got banned and not being able to cover this fight for a petty little reason. And oftentimes my channel, I do like Eddie Hearn. I think he's a great promoter. I thought he put on a great event yesterday, but I think he was very wrong for not going harder for Kugan to get media access. Kugan Cassius has done more. Apparently, according to him, he's not missed a Matchroom boxing show. He has not missed a Matchroom Sports promoted boxing show in the last 7 years. Everything from your big cards to your small cards, he's not missed one. And I believe him because, as far as I'm concerned, to my knowledge, I've seen so many freaking things from Kugan Cassius, and they all been Matchroom. Well, a lot of it's been Matchroom stuff. So he's done a great service to British boxing, and he always does a great job for British boxing. I think, people are going to give Anthony Joshua a lot of credit. And they should, and a lot of it has to do with their fighters rising to the occasion. From Joshua to Bellew to Tyson Fury to James DeGale, British boxing has a lot going for them as far as their fighters. But I think from a media standpoint, you should give this guy a lot of credit because he's been giving these guys a great profile as far as the interviews he's been doing, the footage he gets, and I think that shouldn't be taken for granted. And I feel like Kugan was taken for granted. I think he was very wrong. And look, as somebody who, I only have, 7,000 subscribers, only got 5 million views. I'm a small timer in comparison to Kugan. I hope to one day get to Kugan's level. I've never met Kugan. I've never spoken to him I'm friends with him on Facebook, I think. But I think I messaged him one time. He never responded to me. So I really don't have any emotional attachment to Kugan. I'm just speaking as somebody who respects what he's done. I respect his grind, and I feel it was wrong. I genuinely feel it was wrong, and I feel like boxing fans, you guys should call this out because this is a guy that time in and time out has delivered quality content year after year, show after show, fight after fight, and it's been, you know, effortlessly. And to me, as far as I'm concerned, if you compare him to, because I look at it like this: the biggest boxing channel, I think subscriber wise, is probably ES News. And no disrespect, I met Ellie. Ellie and me are cool. I got nothing but respect for Ellie. But to me, Kugan Cassius is better than Ellie. I believe, personally. I just think he does interviews. I like the way he does interviews better than I like Ellie. With that being taken into account, Kugan Cassius was thoroughly disrespected, and I'm disappointed in Eddie Hearn for not going harder for him. You know, so that's what it is. You know, it goes to show you, man, you can do a lot of right. Because, you know, Kugan Cassius, you know, unlike me, because, like, me, I'm very opinionated, I'm very outspoken. You know, I've said a lot of crap about fighters I don't like Andre Ward, and you guys know that. That's been well documented. So, I can understand if there was somebody like me who talks a lot of crap about certain fighters, about guys I don't like. But Kugan has always been, for the most part, you know, rather neutral. You know, he don't really go too hard on anybody. And to see him get, you know, slighted and miss the biggest fight in British boxing history thus far, and a spectacle that was yesterday, I think it's a disgrace. I think it's a disgrace. I do for sure. And I think there was a lot of moments that he would have captured, as he always does, that weren't captured last night because of a simple petty issue between Klitschko's manager and him, because of him being close to Tyson Fury and his team. He didn't want him around Klitschko. And then also, I'm also pissed off at Eddie Hearn because it was a matchroom show, and Eddie Hearn didn't go hard for Kugan. He should have went hard for Kugan because Kugan's always done his job as far as, you know, done it well as far as covering fighters, covering his shows, giving his fighters a profile, giving them exposure. And I'm just speaking as somebody, you know, who's in the media. I understand. I probably don't understand the level of frustration Kugan is dealing with, because Kugan is way higher, way greater than I am as far as boxing media goes. I have nothing but respect for him, you know, and I know he's really respected because I'll give you an example. You guys know I have a decent relationship with Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs, I built my channel off of, you know, my Shannon Briggs coverage before he really started popping with the Let's Go Champ movement. I was putting out a lot of the interviews and stuff like that, and I don't know. Shannon seems to like Kugan more than me, so I mean, if he likes Kugan more than me, Kugan can't be that bad. Kugan really can't be that bad of a guy, and I hope to one day meet Kugan. And, you know, if you guys are friends with Kugan on Facebook or follow him on Twitter, send him this video. I'm you know, I'm standing up for the guy. A lot of people are coming out and they're voicing their displeasures. You've had guys like Tyson Fury and Billy Joe Saunders and a number of guys in the British boxing community go hard for him. But here's somebody in the American boxing community, someone that, you know, I really don't like a lot of people in boxing media. I'll be honest with you. I've dealt with a lot of people. I don't hate anybody, but I'm not really a fan. I can't really call myself like a fan of many people's work. But Kugan is one of the guys that I can't say I'm a fan of his work, because he does a great job in getting the lighter side of the fighters to come out. He does a great job at asking the right questions to these fighters, and he just always has footage for us. Always. He's always consistent, and I love Kugan. I hope to one day just be as good as he is at this. And you know, I obviously put my little spin on it. And I think I'm getting there slowly but surely. You guys will see, but. Yeah, man, Eddie Hearn, Klitschko's manager, whatever the hell your name is, it was wrong. It was wrongly, and you cheated not just Anthony Joshua out of proper exposure and interviews and coverage, but you also cheated Klitschko in what was a legacy fight in getting the proper interviews, coverage, and exposure over something petty. So Eddie Hearn and whatever the heck that guy's name is, Klitschko's manager, you guys need to find a way to make this right for Kugan, because he's went hard. He's been a staple in British boxing for quite some time. He hasn't missed a matchroom show in 7 years, and the biggest one matchroom ever had, after all the shows he's went to, after all the publicity, after all the videos, all the views he's gotten for Eddie Hearn. It leaves a sour taste in my mouth, and it just shows you, you know, no disrespect to Eddie Hearn, I like him, he's a nice guy, but it just shows you just how fickle of a business boxing can be. And that's all I wanted to say. Kugan, if you get this video, big shout out to you. Hope to meet you someday, and just keep doing your thing, man. Keep your head up. You know, there's ups and downs in life, but we gotta push through them. So, you know, take care of my friend, and you know, keep doing your thing. And as I always say on this channel, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.